so much about these master plants. They really talk to me. I've been told that in the future it'd be good for me to push this out there, you know, to help others. So I'm
the information, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what we'll do right now. Let's do this right now.
It's an option, is it? It's an option for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, hang on. Let me answer this message. All right, hang on. So we're going to formally roll the show out in a minute. We were having a good conversation offline. I said, let's get it out. Let's get out there and talk about it. Very good point. This is how it happens. It's all spontaneous. Let me check the audio. Let me see if we're all right. And we'll roll the show out. Let's see. If these shows resonate with you, please share. We got 19 people in the house. Thank you for coming.
So much about these master plants.
Yeah, we're good. All right. What's up, Karen Kramer? Lindsay. Lindsay's been putting out some great posts today. I shared like 3 of them. Roxanne Cheldilin. Slavika is in the house. Evelyn Ramirez. Morgan Lee, the Divine Goddess. I surrender. Thank you. Yvette Jule, Hoochie Mama. For Soulology. Nancy Solero. Ryan Aguilar. Happy birthday, Ryan. Happy birthday, Ryan. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my homeboy Ryan. Happy birthday to you. I had to see that. Sing that to him. Donna, Michael Van Patten's in the house. Jackie Farrell, Anita Clifton. All right. Got 26 people in the house. Hello, Carly. So let's roll it out. We are honored to have the beautiful Divine Goddess, Linda Starseed Scott, with us for the 2nd time. She's been out there balling in the universe. And so we started a conversation, you know, before the show. And I was like, man, you're a baller. You're just like me. I know that lifestyle. I know that stuff, right? And I said, that's something like Morgan would never understand. And you said, yeah, you were talking to her about it and talking about how these things that we, I guess, for lack of a better word, ingest in some manner, are actually in our bodies already. And, you know, given our mindset at the time that we walk into something like that, not in a recreational mode, but in a mode of expansion, we align with that energy. I think that's what you were saying. I thought that was very interesting. And then you brought up the point that you felt like it's part of your purpose to speak on this. So here we are.
Yes.
And thank you for coming to the show.
You're welcome, Todd. I'm glad to be here. The plants, I was shown that we've been them. You know, we've been that part of that consciousness. This is deep consciousness. Plants. It's one of the deepest and the more complex energies around, and we are that. We've just forgot that we're that deep. That's just pure consciousness. And I was shown the spores of mushrooms and the spores of cactus, and these deep spores are like the first parts of us that became aware. You know, like
mold.
Yes, we became aware on the earth, yes, by the spores, and that's how we used to, you know, communicate. Yeah. So when I took different master plants create different awarenesses, but mushrooms are one of the clearest for me, and the one that I struggled with because I knew it was the last one that I was going to take. It was kept from me because it was really resonating with me, and I actually got not a bit of fear, but I knew that it was going to be the last time that I was going to take anything to help me with my spirituality. I knew that I didn't need anything after I took this mushroom, and I waited for years for it to be introduced to me, and it came to me. I just walked past the shop. The man waved to me and shouted me in. This is what I say to people. When a drug chooses you to awaken you more, or it will choose you. If you have to go searching for a master drug, you're not ready for it. It will come to you. Anything that comes to you is meant for you. Anything that you have to search for is not meant for you. You're not ready for it, or you've done it. You don't search for anything in this universe. Everything comes to you when you're ready. When the pupil is ready, the teacher will appear, and these master plants are just teachers for us. They're just teaching us about ourselves, what in our last state, not the new state. We're actually embodying it all inside us at the moment. All the plants, all the animals, anything that exists, we are embodying that fuller into our beings at the moment. That's why it's really important that we can't judge. You know, it's so important that we don't judge anyone else, because otherwise we're not embodying a part of us, you know. And these plants are showing us that we're connected with the earth, especially the oldest plants. The oldest plants are the oldest parts of us, and in them oldest parts of us is the purest parts of us before we become conscious in the density of the body that we're in at the moment.
Yeah, I want to talk about your recent experiences, and I want to talk about the clarity that it's given you on a personal level, but also, as I know you've been talking to Morgan, she talks to me, and seeing your post as you've come out of this last little bout. I think you were in Amsterdam, and and your clarity in terms or your perspective in terms of the collective and what's happening, all these energies out there, the great divide and that type of thing. But so, you know, here we are in 2018, the year of completion, and we're booking ass through it. And in the middle of the year, you know, as all these energies have been coming down and we've been processing them and elevating and expanding our skills and abilities and putting all this stuff together, you decide to go on this. You decide to go balling out in the universe, and you went to Amsterdam. I know you did something before Amsterdam where you were doing some it was like a retreat with LSD. You put out some really good stuff, and then you ended up going to Amsterdam. I don't think you even had 2 or 3 days in between, and now here you are. So I guess let me start with this, because I'm interested. What was your mindset going into it? Were you looking to fast track?
No, definitely not. I don't fast track anything because I know that you can't. What happened was, I've been shown just lately, really, really clearly, me, my own ability, my own power, my own awareness has been shown to me really crystal clear. And it's been like deja vu for me, if I'm honest. The things I've been shown, especially the beings that have been coming through to me, in my dream state especially, have been telling me that I'm ready, you know, I'm ready to do this. And it's not a coincidence that every major shift that we've had, the energy shifts at the moment, especially in June, especially in July, for every single one that was really strong, the equinoxes especially, and the moons and all this, you know, the celestial changes that we've seen, I was in conscious places at that time. So there was nothing stopping me from just consciously stepping into them energies. There was nothing blocking me, because I've done it before. They've shown me that I have done this so many times, and this is like why it's been like deja vu for me. I've not questioned anything. Don't forget, when I was 4.5, I died, so I've seen all this. So it's been like an old memory for me just coming back to me. So I've stepped right into it. It's been really, really. It's not been easy. It's never easy, but it's been. I'm blessed.
And I got to give you props, because you put it out there. You put the whole thing out there. You put the whole roller coaster out there. So
I don't hide nothing, because why should I? I'm me. It's like my son when I took them mushrooms and I started crying on film, and I had to come off the film because it went really deep. It was like an exorcism, if I'm honest. It was showing me how I must die, and I really was dying on the bed, and it was saying, okay, all these beings come in the room with me, and they was really surrounding me. At one point, I didn't know whether I was tripping or this was real, because it was like an old memory for me. That's how it was. It was easy for me, because they was kept saying to me, and it was all feminine as well. It was all feminine beings. They didn't have no face. They had masks on that come right above the head like that. There was black halos. There wasn't white. There was black. And that made me understand, as when my mum came through to me as well, when she died, she came back black. It was showing us the feminine energy is the black that surrounds the white. Okay, this is why we struggle. This is why a lot of people struggle with the feminine. And at the moment, I don't know whether you can see it. my shoulder. I only noticed today, somebody actually, I'm a Suis. He told me, he said, your right side has dropped, Linda. Do you understand why? And I said, yeah, it's my masculine. And he said, yeah, but why do you think it's dropped at the moment? I said, because I've just had a shift. I said, I've just done mushrooms and I let go of my masculine balance with my feminine while I took the mushrooms. And he said, that's really interesting because your shoulder has actually dropped down. I said, I know. And my shoulder after the mushroom saga, I couldn't walk. All my right side was numb for about 2 days. I couldn't lift my arm, my right arm properly.
Wow.
It was aching. It was really hurting me. Because when you're balancing, it's pain, it's pushing the energy. It's like a penis into a vagina sort of thing. It's pushing its way in. And when I was took to this place, the energy, which was really, really interesting, it was like a penis. I entered this space. It reminded me of a penis. And then the energy, and this was when I was looking at myself on the bed, and I was just pure awareness. I wasn't a mind, I wasn't a body. And all these beings were stood at the back of me, all caressing me and all holding me and made me feel dead safe in the space where I was. And they was talking to me all the time saying, don't panic. I said, what's happening? What's happening? Am I out of my body? And it said, yeah, what you looking at? And I said, I'm looking at her. And I noticed straight away I was referring to my body as her and she. I did not connect with my body as a physical being. It was nothing to me. I was like, and the beings that was at the back of me, it was like whispering in my head going, and there was absolutely, the room was full of them, like that whispering in my head. And then all of a sudden I could clearly, I didn't hear them then, I felt them. I understood what they were saying by the language was inside my heart. It was really weird. My heart went really big. It felt like it went bigger than the room. And I went in this space and it was like a penal energy and then a vastness. And I had to go in the middle of these two energies, which I'm told was masculine and feminine, was the center of this was source, okay? And I was pulled out of my body and put into this space and I couldn't hear nothing. And I said to these beings that were still around me, it was echoing, the energy was echoing and it was going the opposite way, which I always get. And I said, where am I? And it said, this is where you wanted to be. So I said, is this it? Is this 0 point? And it said, well, what did you expect? I said, well, I expected fucking my loved ones to come round me, my man to come, or, Jesus to come and sit down and have a beer with me. I said, where is everyone? And the echo of laughter was just echoing all through me, and they was all laughing. And then I said, and where's God?
You know what I find really interesting? You know what I find really interesting about what you said, and I've never thought about this before, because I think many of us have had, out-of-body experiences in that moment, those fleeting moments like that. But anyway, is, as we started coming up the ladder, we would look at these divine essences, whatever they may be, or galactics, and they would appear to be outside of us, right? Mm-hmm. And so our journey has been to align and integrate and understand and embody that they are us. And so here we have this out-of-body experience at the closest distance to our consciousness, our human consciousness, and we're out of body, and you're referring to as her.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it, and the paradox of it, and the irony of it is that that's the goddess you were looking at.
Yes.
Right there. And so for a moment you come out of that body and it's like all flipped, and that's where I bet that was a powerful integration. Go on.
It was, all black started coming up my leg. It started on my right leg and I knew it was my masculine. And then it spread to my right leg, and then both my legs turned into one energy. And it started to panic me. I was told, you can go back into that body anytime you choose, but we want you to stay in this space for as long as you can. So I stayed in the space, and then I watched my body, and it became quite fascinating to watch me struggling to breathe, because I knew I was in my body, my breath was still in my body, but I wasn't in my body. So then they said, now we want you to try and not breathe into that body. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it became a little bit uncomfortable then. I said, well, won't she die? And it said, you're here. Do you feel dead? And I said, no, I don't feel dead. Okay, then let's do this. Are you ready for it? So I said, yeah, let's do it, you know, like that. And then all of a sudden, I was fitting on the bed. I could see me stopping breathing, and I was really struggling with it, but it fascinated me. I was just watching her, and the chest stopped rising, and then I just went all at ease. My arms fell to the side because I was all twisted. I got cramp like you've never had, Todd. I could not move my body when it started coming out and my awareness come out of the 3D energy. My body was like a twisted corpse. It was horrible. And then when I seen that she was relaxing and stopping breathing, it was really, really freeing for me. It was like, oh my God, yeah, I remember doing this. And I just flowed with it then. And then I seen me stop breathing. And then I said, she looks so at peace. And all these female voices said to me, that's how you are. That's you. You're at peace now. And I said, yeah, I get that. And then all of a sudden they pushed me back again. And then I'm falling into a black hole, and all the black was coming. It was an hole, and Todd was climbing, scraping the sides, trying to get to the top. And they was pushing me down in the hole, saying, Linda, you ready? You ready? And then they was calling me by my name, and I could feel myself going back into my body.
Yeah.
It's really weird. The energy was really, really dense again. And it hurt me.
To me, when it's happened to me, you know, both hallucinogens and not, it always feels cold. Like when I go back,
freezing.
It feels like really cold and really heavy.
Yes.
But getting back to this experience, I mean, to me, this type of thing is a type of integration. Maybe it's not for everybody, but it's a type of integration because it's just like a dimensional experience, but you've got some other type of conscious awareness that you don't carry into the ethers, or at least in the past, because these energies are changing everything up now. Did you come out of it with, as you came back into society, well, social media, or we'll call it soulful media.
Yes, soulful media, I like that. Yeah.
But what's your perspective as you observed everything going on around you in the,
made me calm down to it. I can't, it has really, really shifted me because it's took away all my 3D mindset. I can't get wound up. I fully 1,000% know that I'm everyone now. So it's like I can't react. Nothing is reacting to me. It's like I feel like light. My head feels light and my heart feels heavy. There's the difference. Before, my heart felt light and my head felt heavy. Now I feel like this energy has just gone top to tail. It's like my body is the opposite way round. When I went back into my body this time, it was completely different because I was aware of what had just happened. I knew that I was on acid, but I knew exactly why I was took to that place and shown what I was shown. And in this 0 point, I can't express to everyone how important it is. There is nothing there. You don't feel love, Todd. There is no love there. There is no hatred there. There is nothing there but pure awareness of everything. And it's really, like, I always wanted to go there. I thought, I can't wait to go to heaven. And it was like, Linda, heaven's here in your chest. Heaven's in your heart. Heaven is not a place you go to. It's there. You are embodying all these energies that are at the moment. You're embodying them into your heart space. Your crown opens after your heart space.
Yeah.
It can't open without your heart space being open. Because your heart space is source.
Yeah. And getting back to what you were saying, which was really cool, you were talking about the energies before and after, or really your perspective or awareness before and after. And I was going to say, you know, I always bounce this stuff on Morgan because I can't figure it out. She always knows what's happening. And so I was trying to explain to her, and I wonder if this resonates with you. The way I felt was, and the way you said it with the heart and the mind a second ago, I don't remember how you said it, but I think that's what you were saying, is that I'm seeing the same thing, but I understand why what's happening is happening. And if you drill that down into why this person's doing this or why this person's doing that, you know, I'm able to look at it. I see it the same way. And it's not like I don't have to try not to react, but I'm not reacting. And I think that energy collectively is really taking hold.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so taking hold. Because at the moment, the collective is one. You know, it's always been one. But we deliberately split from that. I was shown the split. I was shown the Magdalene energy, and I was shown the Jesus conscious energy. And both of them was originally the feminine. There wasn't a masculine. I was shown there wasn't a masculine.
Yeah.
The masculine is the back of the feminine, if that makes sense. It's just the one energy. There's no difference. But in 0 point, it's even changed now. It's gone further than what it was. It's shown me like it's just an expansion. It's just energy. But what's really clear is that it's expanded to in the lot. There's actually no lower. It's shown me that there is no lower now. What we're struggling with is remembering the lower. It's the 3D mind that remembers the lower. None of us, hardly any of us, have got lower energies. Yes.
It's just the residual. Just the
It's
residual. And the only thing that it's all in us. The only residual left is in us. Period. How do you want to, explain that? You know, some people say, well, you know, the 4th dimensional archons have been moved out, the reptilians have been moved out, this has been moved out, that's been moved out. It doesn't matter how you explain it. It doesn't matter what the metaphoric translation is. What matters is the only thing left of it is in us. So we either give it life, or we give life to what is our real natural nature, which you're crash coursing through and finding out.
But even that isn't real. I was shown that nothing, absolutely nothing exists really. I was shown a space that it was like a craning board, and it was like a blank canvas, and it was said, Linda, that's all you do. You're in a constant state of creation, and this place, you're not meant to want to go. The trouble with a lot of souls are now the feeling, and they're wanting to run into 5D, they're wanting to run into 6D. They're not getting it that no, you're meant to bring all the dimensions within your own heart space, or else you're just going to come back to 3D. 3D will always be here. It's not going to not exist. It's always going to be here. It's our choice to come in here. It's like having an house, you know, and having a cellar and never going in the cellar. You must go in the cellar.
it's like taking a ayahuasca trip from the higher dimension. It's going in and
Oh, it's like having a bag of sweets.
But I don't want to lose that really, really important point that you made, and that was, you know, you're right. None of that is even real. The only thing that's real is right now, and we are creation. That's what that void is. It is the seed before it buds. I mean, that's what we do. And that's what you're saying that we're missing. And I think that's profound, because it's all about expressing through our heart and putting it out there. And that's how this superabundance comes in as a reciprocation of it, you know? So I love
all it is. It's that, Todd. That's your hand, and it's just pulling all your lost parts of you back in. You know, like you are me, I'm pulling you back in. Morgan's me, I'm pulling Morgan back in. My brothers are me, I'm pulling them back in, because these are all separate identities that I created so I could see myself in different lights. And that is the truth. And now what I've noticed, again, I've just got a truth flush. When you embody yourself fully on this realm, in this place, every time that there's a lower energy, it will pass through you. You will feel it, and you will automatically transcend it to your energy, and you become really good at it. I have become so good at transcending lower energies into my being. I suck it in, I'm like a sponge. I just go, I get it, suck it in, and I release it back to its natural frequency, which is my frequency, which is just love. And I do it with every single thing, and I'm noticing only every time somebody sits down next to me now, unless if they don't sit down next to me unless they're consciously aware. That is my own power. I have done that. That's my own work, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Because
so I'm just curious as what's your next move? What are you going to do next? Are you going to parachute out of a plane? No.
I'm going to play. Where you at? My next move is to. I'm meant to say this before. I want everyone to start doing this. But get some posted, you know, the things that you write on, and you can stick them everywhere. This is what I've started to do, because people keep asking me, well, how do you survive? What do you do for a job? How are you so happy, and why are you doing this? And I said, listen, all you need to do, get some postage stamps, write what you want, your intentions down on them, leave them in your bedroom, because it's the place where we get up and we go to sleep. The perfect thing in the morning is to set your affirmations every night. Read what you've set in the morning and see that whether you've done it, and eventually it becomes a cycle of you following your own manifestations. Yeah. That's what I do, and I'm going to write down. I've just remembered to do it. Actually, I'm going to write down that I want to open a mushroom farm, and I will do it. I want to help people. I do. That's what I want to do. I want to be called the Mushroom Queen of Bethnal Green.
The Mushroom Queen. Oh, you made me lose track of my question. That was funny. Oh, shoot. Oh, so yeah, let me go back to the other question that I forgot about. So like when you came back with this new perspective, I mean, standing from that vantage point, what are people going through? What's happening on what would be all of our externals? But I mean, obviously we're seeing this contrast and this rapidly moving contrast spinning out people, you know. I mean, it's interesting. It's like a lot of ups and downs, a lot of spikes, and I don't know, but it seems like in this it seems like in this little chaos vibration, there is an order to it, and it seems like is begetting like. Do you see that?
Oh my God, that is so true, Todd. What you're seeing actually is your own choice. You've already done this. You've already made this choice, but you're doing it again. You're seeing your own patterns. Whether you choose, if you see a pattern, you either follow that pattern or you step out of it. And what you're seeing at the moment is your own struggles within yourself. Everything is mirrored here. Every single thing. If you see somebody struggling, you are struggling. If you see, Linda, you from Bethnal Green, did you say? No, I'm from Manchester. Manchester, Michelle.
There's one more. Suzanne is.
Yeah, she is. That's my friend. She is the Mushroom Queen. She used to take acid in school. She used to escape a bad life and take acid in school. Anyway, if you are struggling with anything on the outside, if you trigger, you've chose that trigger. If you're struggling with a trigger coming in, you've also chose that trigger coming in. Everything's a choice now. The new earth and the old earth will always exist. People think, oh, the new earth is going to be a distant earth and we're not going to sit. No. These are just the polar aspects of the same thing. Yeah. They're always there. It's a choice that we must make.
That's a really, really clear, simple, but profound explanation. The new earth is right here.
People are expecting it to change.
Yeah, the new earth is what I give my attention to. The new earth is not following my truth. The new earth is trying to integrate with vibrations that I'm just not supposed to be around. You know, it's just allowing and letting it flow, and it's magical, and it has a whole new set of rules. You know, it really does.
I don't even think of, this is a thing that I've noticed. I'm not even thinking of new earth or old earth, because for me, everything looks beautifully new, because I'm beautifully new. When we experience what we are carrying inside, that is all you see is your own reflections of your own energies inside. It's got nothing to do with the energies outside. That shifts you and changes you, yes, but your own energy inside creates what you see. It creates what you've just manifested. You've just manifested a thought there, right there, when me and you have just manifested a thought here. By speaking and bringing it in, you know, we're doing it every second of the day, 24/7. And your energies at the moment are mirroring your own power. My own I can't touch anything, Todd. Even my friends are going, stay away from because I'm like Zod, you know, off Superman. I only have to touch something. It goes or smashes. Grounding is really important when we, you know, when our energies go really spiked. Mine really spiked.
Yeah. I've spent most of the last well, hell, I guess since Morgan left. So it's been probably, I don't know, 6, 7 weeks. I don't know, by myself for the most part. And there's been a lot of, and I know I'm just, you know, I'm just like everybody else. I mean, I've been going through these fast and furious and comprehensive shifts and elevations, and it's like one after the other. You used to get a little breath in between, take a couple of days off. That ain't happening now. It's coming in. It's coming in full blast.
Not because you're ready for it. This is what I say to people. Nothing you experience is what you've experienced before. The only time you'll struggle is if your memory can't remember it, and it's a shock system. That's the only time that we will struggle with these energies. If we have the belief, and I mean the trust that what's coming is meant for us, then we flow with it. Anyone, it's like an alien landing, right? Every one of us say, don't we? We'd love the aliens to come and pick us up. No, let's be truthful. We'd shit ourselves if an alien sat down next to us with a big head and big eyes. I know I would. I'd say, shit. I'd be like that, checking my coffee. He's put mushrooms in there.
I had them in my room the other night, and they looked like insects, man. And it was my grandmother at the end of a session.
Well, they're really, I was shown ants.
Huh?
I was shown ants and insects. They've been coming to me. Like, I've just been talking about it today. It's synchronizing again. I've said the ants, especially the mosquitoes, started attacking me all around my ankles. They were showing me my own imbalance, my own that I needed to ground, by the way. All you need to do with the insects, it's really, really small intelligence, but the small things are the most important. These are the ones that polish our consciousness. Every animal on the earth is awareness, okay? It's our own awareness. The mirroring us in all our different aspects. Every single animal carries an awareness for us to see ourselves in that being, because they're all beings. So if we understand that awareness, but we have to switch off the mental mind, or else then we'll class it as craziness. I had to learn to switch off my mind. I had loads of help though, me. I've had so many. Before I took the mushroom, Archangel Michael came to me, and everyone will say, oh, how do you know? Did he fly in? You know, did he have wings? Is what they're talking about. I said his orb came. I just swallowed all the mushrooms, and then the awareness kicked in, and I went, hey, everyone, if you're around me, if there's anyone around me, this is something I'm not used to. Please show you with me, you know, that you're going to be with me on this trip. Straight away, get your camera, Linda, get your phone, and go outside and take a picture. Now, it was just going dark. So I always do what my higher self say. If my voice in my head, because I know which is my ego and which is my higher self, I will just do as my told, because it's never let me down. My higher awareness has never let me down. So I wouldn't question it. So I just went outside. I took the picture. I didn't even look at the picture. I didn't check it till days later. But when I checked it, there's a beautiful blue, really clear blue orb on the picture, and I didn't even know that it was associated with Michael. So a couple of days later, when I posted it on Facebook, and one of the women said, oh, Michael comes to visit you. I thought she was on about my brother Michael. So I said, my brother Michael. And she said, no, Archangel Michael. So I said, why is Archangel Michael, you know? And then straight away, my higher self pops in. Linda, is a blue. And I went, oh, he's a blue, right? And then I started Googling all about it. That's how I get it. I've been shown I am, it told me what I am, and I can't even say the word. I'm Claude Diessians or something like that. I can't say it because I get shown the bigger picture, and then it comes into my awareness, and then I learn about it.
So you know, as you move back into this, I mean, what do people need to be looking out for? What's happening to them? What are you observing with them? You know, because I always say this to Morgan, you know, and I know it all goes back to the oneness, but you still stand there and I'm here. And we both hold the center of the universe within ourselves.
But that's really weird, because when you just said that, this is how I get it. You go really far away, and my awareness doesn't connect that you are separate from me. You're me. And and this is another thing that I've started to do. I'll show you. When I went to, and I wasn't on acid. I just got to the festival. I'd been tested to death. My suitcase bust open. My credit card wouldn't work, and I just kept laughing. I thought there's going to be a shift here. I can feel it. I can always feel when there's a shift coming. And I just kept laughing. I thought, let's see. I was like, that's the source. Let's see what you bring it on, source. You know, messing around with myself. And then I met this woman, and we was going down to the festival. It hadn't really started yet, but the music was just starting. And all of a sudden, I seen, every time I see a picture now, it gets straight away, my awareness gets sucked to it. And it was a tent, teepee. And on the teepee there was a genie. Okay, you know, the film, the genie, the Aladdin. It was a big blue genie. A big blue genie, yes. And my awareness said to me, Lynn, did you get that? I said, oh, did I get it? Blues are genies, aren't they? Yes, you are. Now you're becoming the alchemist. Now you're understanding it. I said, oh, and all of a sudden, my awareness, Todd, I felt like I was a giant. I was stepping like a giant, and it made me feel really uncomfortable. It was like everything shrunk, and everything was small, and I went enormous. And I was walking like a big dinosaur. Even my friend said, why are you walking like that? Do you need a poo? I said, no. I said, I feel like I'm enormous, like I'm bigger than the universe. That was my own awareness, by the way.
Oh.
That's what happens to me. I step into that awareness. I become that awareness.
Oh, my God. I want to party with you.
Yeah, honestly. This is how I am, though. This is my truthful being. I don't know how any... And then it's like, you know, the best way, the best way to integrate these energies is to laugh at them, because then you're pulling it in. And then you're not fighting it. Yeah, I just took the piss out of this ascension like nobody's business.
The humor,
I don't take it serious.
Yeah, the humor is beautiful.
Well, it clears blocks, Todd. It clears you. It clears all the negative energy that's in your mind, not just in your body, in your mind.
And on that note, I thought we might ask you, the good doctor, the ascension seer, I don't know what I'm going to call you, but the mushroom queen.
Yes.
So has there been an outbreak of flatulence as you have been posting?
Honestly, you know what it was teaching me, though? We've got to love the fart. It was, and I said, I'm struggling with this, because as soon as I'd walk into a restaurant or anywhere where there was loads of people around me, it'd start building up, and it's just me pulling in these lower energies. I'm feeling it now as I'm talking to you. I could easily quite fart now, but I won't. The dog's head's right near me house, so I won't. But this is what you're doing. Everyone is doing this at present. All these lower energies, you're just farting them out. So this is what I said. You have to fart and love the fart. I'm going to have a tattoo, love thy fart. I've got one on my chest. Listen to this, Todd. I was in India. Look at this tattoo. And the guy, I didn't know he was stoned, and he tattooed me tattoo wrong. I put adore thyself with a heart in the middle and wings, meaning once you adore yourself, you've got your wings to self-freedom. And he spelled it. He put adorn thyself.
What?
He put adorn. I spelled it right on the piece of paper, adore, A-D-O-R-E, and he put A-D-O-R-N, adorn. He doesn't even say that. And he said to me, are you happy with that? I said, I'm fucking happy with it. Unless I'm dyslexic. No, I'm not happy with it. I said, I'm not paying you. He's going, madam, you must pay. I said, fuck off, I'm not paying you. You've spelled it. I've got to carry that for the rest of my life.
Oh, my God.
Everything happens to me in a comedy way, because I can deal with it. I don't mind people laughing at me, because I'm the best person to laugh at myself. And I think that the most freeing thing that we can do with these energies is laugh, laugh. Don't take it so serious, because at the end of the day, it's just us. It's just us in body.
And that's another thing. I just got an activation, or expanded my knowledge. And that is, if you look back at anything in your life and you're not laughing, you still got work to do.
Yeah. If you can cry at something and be sad with it, that's your own work. If you can look at something and not see the humor of it, like spiritual people at the moment, I'm noticing it with spiritual people. I'm not judging them because I was one myself. I'm saying how we can get carried away and take it to a level where we're too serious and we don't enjoy it. That isn't spirituality.
No.
God created humor. We are gods. We created it. Did we create it so we wouldn't follow it?
I think it's
anything that controls you, because humor doesn't control you, it frees you.
The higher you get, the higher your soul goes, the higher your ego goes.
Oh my God.
That's all there is.
I laugh at everything. And I've got the weirdest, sickest humor that there is, but I embrace it because I eat my way through this life. I eat anything. I even say to people, do not stand still, like film alive, that'll be me, into you. But I'll eat anything, you know, and I always think if it's there for me, I'm meant to take it. And if it's offered to me, I will take it. All my friends drag me away from anything. If they see an homeless person, they drag me away because I'm sat with them and I'm feeding them and I'm giving them all my money. I share everything, me honesty, my humour, my energy. The only thing I don't share is my doubt, and even that's gone now. So.
Your what? Your doubt?
My doubt. It's the only thing I don't, you know, if I've ever doubted anything, I always keep it to myself.
Doubt.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's an energy that it's not real, is it?
No.
But I share everything else because I always have known deep in myself. It's only people that have ever made me shift, you know, try and change myself and be something I'm not. And it started when I was a child. My dad telling me to be this way, mum telling me I must be that way, you know, not be my pure self. But I used to cry my eyes out and run upstairs and start punching my head because I knew deeply that I am just a child of love. I've always known that, always. Yeah. Even my friends used to say, why are you so dramatic? You know, if see an homeless person, I'd burst out crying, running up to them and wanting to neck with them and kiss them. And I said, because I feel like it's me, you know, I've always felt that these are connected to me, all these people. And they are, I was right. I always knew it, but now I know it. I know it properly now.
So when you went to Amsterdam, what was that like? Was that like a retreat, or were you just hanging out?
No, Todd, it didn't even go the way I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go. I booked the festival. This is how it happens with me.
Oh, it was a festival.
I booked 2 festivals. The first one I was supposed to go with my son. Then he didn't want to go, so I had these 2 tickets. But what was really interesting, and this is a really interesting point, when I was printing all the tickets out, 2 for the one for the Shaman Festival, which I knew was important, and one for the dance festival, which was Loveland. The Loveland wouldn't print out. It just wouldn't print. My printer stopped working. Then I went and got some new ink. It still wouldn't work. Then it blew, and I had to change the fuse. And it was just the universe saying, Linda, you're not meant to go there. But I'd spent like €200 on these tickets. I thought, I'm going. I'm definitely going. When I gets to Amsterdam, I didn't go. I knew I wasn't supposed to go because I took the mushrooms and it made me purge for 2 days. So I was in no fit state to go. But then it took me to, there was a gang of men, a gang of young boys, and I give them the ticket. But my higher self has clicked in like I just flow with it, you know. I'm just flowing and understanding what I'm meant to do and what I'm meant to now. Anything, if I struggle with anything now and like say I'm gonna phone someone and they're constantly engaged, I know that I'm not meant to speak to them. They're not meant to speak to me. You know, we've got to be aware. Yeah,
that's all it is. There's nothing personal.
No, it's just energy. If it's not your frequency, it's not on your frequency.
Now, and I was asking too because I just wanted to know. I've never really talked to anybody that's gone to one of those festivals. I know a lot of people that have, and they sent me messages. Did you walk around one of the festivals, transformational festivals?
That's all I did.
Yeah.
I was like.
So what was that like? I mean, what was that like walking through that environment and everybody's there with this? Pretty much, I'm sure, with the specific interests of expansion, transformation. and using, or not using, I don't call them drugs, but, you know, plant medicine, whatever you want to call them.
Well, the last festival was really interesting because it was a transformational festival. It was a shamanic festival. So
Yeah.
shamans from all around the world were at this festival. So when I first get there, I forget that it's shamanic. So I'm walking around on my own, because don't forget, I go to these places on my own. I'm always shifted to go on my own. It's easier for me to do it that way. So I'm walking around this festival. Straight away, there's a big teepee, and they're doing a talk on, it was a Cherokee Indian or something she was, and she was doing a talk on water. So I just entered at the back. I wasn't in the circle because I was stood at the back and I still had my shoes on, and you meant to take your shoes off, and I didn't, so I stayed at the back. She noticed me when I walked in. I noticed the clock me, but she didn't say anything. So she's carrying on, and then she says, I didn't quite get what she was saying because I come so late. And then she said, for the people that have just come, she was referring to me because I looked around and there was only me there. She said, for the people that have just come, this talk is about healing Gaia's oceans. And at the end of this talk, I'm going to ask, there's 2 people in this group, she said, and there was about 40 people there. She said, I'm going to ask them 2 people to come up here. Please be aware that I'm asking, that you'll be noticed now that you're asking. And then my heart started beating. I knew she was going to ask me. She said, I'm going to ask you to come up and do this healing with Gaia with me. And I thought, should I back off? Because I don't like to be in the centre of me. It unnerves me unless I'm joking. So anyway, so she's doing the talk. Then she says, okay, now can the people, she was going on about, you know, the energies at the moment, how they are, and how we can transform Gaia ourselves, which I know anyway. And then she said, now that lady who's just walked in with the blue hair, can you come up here? And I could feel myself burning up, going red. And my eyes felt.
I can't imagine you sticking out in a crowd like that.
So I just stepped up. I thought, oh, come on, Linda, you can do this. It's my voice and everything. So I stood there and I was literally shaking. And then she asked this man with a cowboy on. So he comes up to me. And he just went and held my hand straight away. And then we all held hands. And I just stood there like a goat, not knowing what to do. And then she starts chanting. And honest to God, within seconds, I was chanting with her and I understood the chant. And I can't remember it now, but it was an Indian song that she was singing. Todd, I perfectly remembered the song.
Wow.
And I became like this Indian squaw. And I was just chanting and chanting. And then she started bringing all this water out and she blessed it. And then she asked me to stay behind. She said, can you stay behind? I said, yeah. She said, I want your email. She's not emailed me yet, but she said she's going to email me. And she said, do you understand why I called you over? And I said, well, I've been playing around with shamanism for ages. And she said, well, you know you're a shaman. I said, well, I've been told this so many times, but I feel stupid stepping into them boots. Like I'm not worthy of it. She said, well, everyone's got shaman tendencies, but you need to step into them boots and do your service on Gaia. I said, well, I'm doing my service by being here. And she said, no, you're not, because you're not doing your service worthy.
Did it resonate?
Yes, because
and that's all that matters.
It really did. It really resonated with me. I thought, yeah, I'm not actually. I was saying this to Morgan the other week. I always think I don't need to do a live. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to share what I'm experiencing because I'm just me. And it's my awareness has changed to, no, you're important, you're here, and you need to step forward and share.
Everybody.
Yeah, because we're sharing everything. And the more we share our awareness, the quicker the shift can, where it's just the peace on earth is brought from within us, you know, and we spread it out that way.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm
yes, so I was approached by all these beings, myself, by the way. I was approached by them at the festival. Every time I walked, someone would come up to me and say something, and it would resonate. It's something I've just been speaking about in my mind. I've been shown. It just happens within a split second for me now.
See, that's what I was curious about. If you have people that are, you know, I don't know what you would call it, but because they would be in the same space, you know, and the same coordinates basically, and have this energy, this collective energy in the micro, you know, if things like that would happen, I'm sure a lot of things like that do happen, even beyond that, even like
Yeah.
shared divine episodes, very divine experiences.
Well, the energy just goes more condensed, doesn't it? If you've got somebody on your frequency, and I've noticed when they sit down next to me, I get full body flushes straight away, and I don't even need to look where they sat next to me. I know that they're on the same wavelength as me, and I wait now. I've started doing it. I've been training myself over the last couple of weeks. I do not speak, and I know you might struggle with that. No one will believe that because I speak all the time, but I don't, because my awareness is crystal clear. I have to wait for them to speak to me. And that's what I've started doing. That's the only thing that I'm learning at the moment, is the silence of me. I need to let them pull themselves into me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because my
that's
energy,
it, man. That's
my
it.
energy is pure at the moment. My energy is so pure. It's really,
the awareness of your energy is
because
got
your
more
energy
clarity.
even has its
Your
own
energy is
awareness.
pure anyway, right?
Yeah.
But
you mean the awareness? Yeah, you're right. The awareness of my energy is aware that it's purified.
But yeah, you know, you said something a minute ago, and it's starting not to resonate with me anymore, and it goes back to what you were saying about the two Earths just being where, you know, which way you going. Is the whole quick thing. Get there quick. I'm at the point now with these energies in the last 10, 14 days. And I mean, I'm not with Morgan right now, obviously, but you know, I'm not worried about anything. It's like, I'm not even in a hurry. This is all starting to really, really become something in the moment. That's, you know, the infinite aspect of it is in the moment, the instant manifestation, everything, you know, anything is actually being embodied into us here as we walk in what we would call lower density, which probably when this trip's over, we're going to find out this is the highest level there is.
Todd, it is. Todd, it is. Yep. It really is. You've just hit the nail on the head. That's what I was shown when I was on these mushrooms. This is why after them mushrooms, I can't express to you how crystal clear I feel, because I always knew it in a way. I knew, and I've always said to people, the only place I want to be is here. I want to be fully here. I don't want to be anywhere else, because I know I've been everywhere else, and I know this is the highest aspect we can reach. It is the densest plane, and it's the one where we get to create. You don't create on other places like you do here. You don't. Honestly, you don't. This is the best place for us to see so many different aspects of us. You don't get that anywhere else, because you're that one energy.
Yeah.
The higher you vibrate, you don't get to share all these aspects. And so I've gone really slow with it.
Yeah, I love that explanation. Yeah. You know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a show, like the third show I'd done with Michael Monk. He runs an institute in Florida. He's an energy master. He's been studying it for like, 15 years, something like that. And for the first time I heard this explanation, and, everybody's got their own metaphoric interpretation. The universe speaks to all of us uniquely. We're never going to get it right here, two people at the same place. But the story basically, if I can remember it, not the story, but the explanation, is that we look out at these multiple dimensional aspects, these future lives, even what we would call past lives, and they're all out here. They're all out there. And we're at the center. And we always think with the words higher and elevate and, and all that stuff. And the way he explained energy was that the universal core, which was found in our hearts, was actually the most dense part of the universe.
It is.
And that we are at a density closer to it than any of these other aspects out there, which are really like our children. They're really like our children. And that the only way to get through, of course, a tough density, a tough veneer, is to be down there, doing the work. And so in the paradox of the universe, what is up is down. We're actually coming into this God-goddess thing. And like you said, which is key, the whole creation right here. This is creation. This is the outer breath of Mother Universe.
Oh my God. The inner and the outer are a really good metaphor for for just the way that we think. It's the energy is the opposite way that we think. Higher is actually lower, and lower is actually higher, because the energies, we think that we're in the lowest now, so our awareness thinks we're lower. It is so not the case. We are the highest aspects of us already.
That's right.
What we're doing is pulling the lower from within us and pushing it back out again. And this is what center point is all about. This is what 0 point is all about. It's about, all you're doing is you're doing your black hole treatment again. You're doing your black hole treatment again. You're going within your own energy again to expand your own light body. The light body is the densest part of your body. Is this is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
You know.
And even like and I'm gonna be the first one to raise my hand and say guilty. Okay. If I look back at my last 7 years, like in soulful media, is the search or the seeking or the explanation or the intellect's expansion, reaching for something out here, the higher explanation, the higher, you know what I mean? Even that is more dense than where I stand.
Yes.
Because what's happening is where I stand, which I thought was the most dense, is actually pulling in all these multiple aspects, all these past, parallel, future, all that, all to one place with all of its knowledge and wisdom, and actually be in a creation mode. Actually creating something that's never been created. That's each and every one of us here. And so all that talking is, I'm more interested in what's happening like right now today to people like you and to people like me. That's where the real gold is, and that's where the real activations are, and that's where the real story is.
That's the realness. You don't want anything that you've read in books. I keep saying to people, when your frequencies reach a certain level, you won't be able to read, by the way. This happened to me. I picked up a book and I told you the letters all fell off the page. Now when I pick a book up, even the gene keys, I was gifted that, and I still can't read it. Every time I pick it up, my awareness pulls me away from it. It's like there's a magnet and I cannot go near that book, because I was shown, Linda, there's nothing in the books no more for you. Do you understand? There's nothing. And I was like, well, I'm making a choice. I want to read that book. I can't, honestly, Todd. I keep trying and trying, and now I've just let it go.
That's a great point. Okay, that's a great point, because it's to take nothing away from where we've been and what's been created. But the point is, this stuff is moving so fast that any explanation, even this explanation I'm giving, or at least in my best way, of what I'm trying to explain, even that is limited. Okay, so anything behind us is very limited. That's why the most activating, the most important, the most significant to me is right here in the now. That's why lives are important.
You're experiencing.
That's why freestyle is important. That's why free flow poetry is important. All this stuff that's spontaneous, not from that mind that has to have things built and memorized. No. Just let it flow. That's why it's so important. That's where our highest wisdom is. Because we've moved beyond the human 3D explanation, even in the moment. You know?
You're giving me flushes, because that's the truth again. What I was shown when I was picking these books up, and it said, Linda, your awareness is not that awareness. That book is their experience. It's their energy. You must leave them books, because you're not at that level. You're not that book is not you. It's not connected. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to everyone, stop writing books, stop reading books. You must do what you read. But when you reach a certain frequency, you cannot. Then books will not make sense.
Well, you know what though? Just like you said about the plant medicine, it will find you. If you need to go find a certain book, and I haven't picked up a book in a long time. A couple of my friends that wrote books, I read through them and interviewed them. But the last time I was in a main street in, I think it's called Van Buren, Arkansas, where Melinda Cullen lived, late at night, walking down this main street. Looks like something out of Mayberry RFD, like 1950. And there's a box of books just sitting outside in front of this old store. And I found a book. And that's what I was trying to make a point of. That's the same thing you said at the top of the show about plant medicine. But really, it's true for anything. Anything that we need, like you said, we're setting it up to come before us.
Yes, we've already put it there. It's like, you know, when you used to be a kid and you play hide and seek, you hide something and then you know where it is. It's the game, isn't it? It's the game. We've already done this work. We've already put all the tools all around us. All we need to do is trust our own instinct. When you've experienced it, it will come right in front of you. It will manifest in front of you. Once you've done that inner shift, then the universe has got to mirror it back to you. It's just fucking energy. It's logical. You know, it's so, I know people will struggle with it, but it's more simpler than we're making it out. Yeah. We want this big granular experience of floating into other dimensions and angels embracing us. No, we're the angels.
We're bringing it. See, I want to ask you. I want to ask you this before we end, because I had an experience last night, and it just came to me. And so I was told after this really activating day to go out and dance, and I haven't danced in a couple of years, and I really hadn't danced like the way I did when I was on the streets in a long time, where I just go stand somewhere next to a DJ and nobody's dancing. Anyway, it ended up being a really profound kind of thing, and it was a fun time. It was great. But when I came back, I was standing here by myself after I talked to Morgan on the phone. I couldn't sleep. And I don't know. To me, my imagination, the creative force of my imagination was creating a straight line, an alignment with the future. It was a very different kind of experience. It was an experience where I knew I was making something happen, you know, up the linear path a little bit. And that's really the only time that's ever happened that I knew it. Other times I'm like, hey, if I ever had the opportunity, I would do this and I would act it out or rehearse or whatever the case is. But this was different. This was a situation where I just made that happen. And I'm wondering if that's going to be a new vibration getting out there.
This is called setting intention. It's setting your own intention. By the way, we are now at such a critical stage for us to trust. If you don't trust your own abilities here, then you're going to shift back. You're going to go into lower aspects of yourself where you don't know what you're doing again. It'll be just be repeated and repeated. I was shown, I only dreamt it last night. I've just remembered to tell you by what you've just said. I was shown last night, I'm my dream. I'm awake in my dream. I'm always awake in my dreams now, Todd. I always know that I'm dreaming. Yeah. I'm always asked in my dream, are you awake or are you asleep? And I go, I'm awake. Okay, I understand that. So last night in my dream, there's a field and it's like a field and it's got a curve on it like that. It's like an arch. There's all beings, but they're not male and they're not female. Now I'm shown that I'm balanced because they're never male or female in my dreams no more. They're just beings and they're always dark and they just stand there. They're just awareness. They just stand there and they're just watching me. And I went to run to them. It was like I recognized them in my dream and they just went like that with their hands. No, stay there. And when I was looking at all the grass was all popping up and started growing really fast and it was dead green and it was coming up here. And then I woke up and then my awareness said, what did that dream mean, Linda? And I said, is that new earth and is it the shifting? I'm not meant to stay here where I am at the moment. And it said, yeah, that's exactly what you're meant to do. At the moment, it's really important that I stay put where I am because there's a lot of people around me ready to shift. And I've found it today, even after the dream last night. This is how quick it happens to me, Todd. Within half an hour of me waking up, soon as I turn on my laptop, ding, 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 4 people straight away asking me, Linda, I can't stop crying. Linda, this is happening. Linda, that is happening. And I'm just like, I'm dead. you know, I'll help whoever I am, but I've gone to the point now. I'm saying, listen, this is what's going to happen. This is what you must do it yourself. I can't come over and give you healing. I can't come over and help you. I'll be here for advice, but you're going to do it, and you're going to really, really love it when you get through this stage. You know, it's just the self, switching off, and then allowing another higher self. It's just all different aspects.
Yeah, it's different. You know, I told Morgan a few days ago, you know, to me, it's like a different language. I don't know if it's a different language, or it's almost like, you know, how people will talk about how, okay, they erase, there's a new program. So you wipe the hard disk, and then you replace it. To me, it's more like there's a new operating system.
Yeah,
like, you know, you took DOS out and you put something else in, you know, whatever. Well, I don't know anything about IT stuff, but to me, it's like that. And I love what you said about it. You know, I don't know how you put it, but, you know, just being what you truly are, at whatever steps, at pace, or whatever you've got to do it, but being what you truly are. And to me, so much of that, if not all of it, is in our creative, real-time, spontaneous expressions and interactions, whether we're alone, you know, like I spend so much of my time, and maybe you do, or we're out there, you know, balling out with a bunch of other crazy people in Amsterdam at some transformational festival.
I got told I was crazy. This woman said to me, oh, she was an American. Oh my God, you're crazy, woman. And I said, I fucking know I am. I'd be crazy to sleep with you, all right? You know what I mean?
Hey, man.
Yeah, you know, if somebody, I've found that the energies it'll attract your energies that get to a certain point where they'll start attracting people that will cling to you, you know, and vampire and try and suck your energy, which is it's all right, but we just have to be aware that when we're vibrating high, we will attract these energies, and they're just us. It's actually a sign that we're shifting. It's a really, I say that to anyone. It's a perfect sign for you. That don't shove it away. You know, give it attention, and then embody it, and then shift away. You know, then but don't judge it. Please don't push it away.
And like you said, 3D's always there. So if one of them comes around and you want to hang out with them and interact with them and engage them,
so I visit. I mean, it's like I always put on my things. I don't give a D. I don't give a damn. I don't give a dimension of me.
Hey man, I'm just peace in, drama out, man. Peace in, drama out. That's all.
And we're needing to get this new language out there, which is feeling. You know, the mouth now is redundant. The language is redundant. It really is. You've got to close. I say to everyone, if they ask me a question now, I just say, close your eyes and ask me why you have asked me that question, please. That's my answer to you. No matter what you ask me, close your eyes and ask yourself why you have asked me that question. And 9 out of 10, I swear to God, they're answering their own question. I said, there you go.
That's
you
the real. You see, I love that. That is the new operating system, where the old operating system was the yogi and the old operating system was the yogi and the guru. You know, where there was still a separation. The new operating system is self-empowerment.
Yes.
And I learned that through Morgan. I don't want to everything I learned.
I don't want to take everyone's power. I've got all power. No. I'm firing all cylinders.
Yeah.
So I just give them their own power back. That's what you could. That's the only thing you're meant to do. Give them their own power. Don't take anything off them. Don't give them yours.
Just
own your own shit. Own your own shit.
And you know, sometimes, and I just learned this yesterday at the instruction of the Divine Goddess, is that sometimes it's just about holding a space of love and being quiet. You know,
I hold them in. I've started doing that. I was told to keep doing this. Every time a self comes to me and it questions me, the old me, I just go like that with my hands, and I imagine it. I close my eyes and imagine I've just embodied it all into my face, and I always feel my heart open with it. And then it's just a part of me again. You know, it's just recognition, and getting used to trusting that instinct. Because it sounds mad, doesn't it? All you need to do, is open your heart and allow everyone in. Surely that can't be attention. But
well, I mean, you know, and it sounds complex, but you know, really, it's a matter of running every moment through your heart. I
You
mean,
just anything, run everything through your heart, and then
you
you'll
walk
know
in,
if it
yeah,
feels.
yeah, you walk into the gas station, you get some gas, buy a pack of cigarettes, and it's the person behind the counter. It's everything, you know. That's one thing I like about walking the streets, even out here. I'll go out about 2, 3 in the morning, and I like it because you run into things, right?
Oh
You
yeah,
run
you
in,
always
you
get
run
things
into
pop up.
Yeah, you run into over here. You run into a few, well, we call them homeless people, but to me, they're street people, and some of the most incredible spirits I've ever met have been out there. But
The best people I've met, Todd, has been the troubled souls.
yeah,
They have got such good stories to tell. I would be so bored if I spoke to the Queen. Seriously, I'd be like, Queen, do you fancy a line? You know what I mean? Because I'd be bored. Because
but
oh my God, having
yeah,
people
but
worship you and
yeah,
all this. I want people to be raw and real. That's all I want. It bores me. And I'm not being
yeah. Well, and if you look
derogative,
at
but
that,
that it bores me.
yeah,
I want real
and
me. I need real.
yeah, real. And then if you look at what you were saying earlier, and what I was saying about Michael Monk and the true aspect of density, where we think the lighter part is the freeing part or you know what I mean? Where the growth is,
Opposite.
it's the more dense. So if you look at
It's the
that, like
dance.
Morgan says, a copy is a copy is a copy.
Yeah.
That's whether it be people, and whenever I'm on the streets, like it happened to me 2 nights ago with 2 people, and my thing is, going back to what you said, is it's all feeling. I don't just walk up to them and say, "Hey, what's up, bro?" I don't do that. But
No, I
if
don't.
the energy's right, one I talked to, one I didn't. Had a nice exchange, gave a guy a cigarette, and and walked away. But yeah,
Have you noticed, Todd, that you the awareness behind the awareness yet? Like I've started noticing it's really weird. It only happens now and again. It shifts in and then it'll shift out. My eyes look at everyone and they look at everyone at like one straight away. And it's like it's really hard to put into words. Some things are really hard to
it's
put into
yeah.
words.
I would
My
say
perennial view goes all the
yeah.
way around and I can see everything as just
Yeah.
me.
I I would say yes, but not for me anyway. Yes, but not. And again, it's a remembering because I can remember a lot of times now. But yes, but not like see with my 2 eyes. Not like I can see with my 2 eyes all around. But there
Yeah.
is it's something, and it is related to feeling and energy. But yeah, totally,
Well, it was
absolutely.
like especially when I was at Boom, because Boom is really, really conscious. It's the most conscious place I've ever been. Because there's so many people there, I panicked at one point because I thought, I don't know whether because my higher awareness said, do you, Linda, are you tripping now or are you not? It was playing games with me, and I was like, oh, I don't know. Am I tripping? Am I still tripping? I don't know whether I was tripping. But what had happened was I stepped completely out of 3D and I was walking in this eye energy. And then everyone, Todd, was like robots to me. They were just like that, all walking past me. Nobody looks at me. It was strange and spooky. And I was like, oh my God, where am I? Because they were just all robots. They were just all walking past me. Not one person for maybe 15 minutes looked at me. Not one person. And I said, what's happening here? I was like to myself, where am I now? What's happening here? And it said, you just pure awareness now. You are the watcher, but you're walking in this
Yeah.
place. And you will keep shifting in and shifting out. But that's your choice. We're showing you now what you're capable of doing. And I was like, oh my God, that is freaky shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
man. I'd love to get you and well, you were with Zavetta with your accents, you and Zavetta,
I know.
so yeah, that would be great. All right,
Well,
I'm gonna head
when I
out.
was in, okay.
I gotta head out because I gotta go eat something
Yeah.
because you gotta force myself to eat. I gotta eat
Well,
something,
at the
and
moment, I was shown that we're not going to be eating in a couple of years.
oh, I believe that. I believe that.
Seriously, it said I am
Hey,
light now and I don't need that much.
I like Dick Gregory. He's passed now. Rest in power, Dick Gregory, and for a lot of reasons, but that's just me personally. But of course, I don't know if everybody knows, but he was like in his mid-50s. He was almost 400 pounds, a smoker, drinker, and he lived to be 87. But
Yeah.
he was talking about fasting, and he was talking about because he's done that a lot, and he went straight juicing from that age on, cured cancer and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, he was talking about fasting, and he was saying that, you know, you can go with just water. You can go with, like, you know, using one thing and then just water, and then no water, not even water. And he said how long he did it. Now, he'd been, you know, fasting regimens for years, but it was a long time. I mean, I'm not going to say it was like 40 days or something, you know, and I'm like, holy shit, you know. So, yeah, I know our bodies are equipped not to eat, but in this transition, I sure enjoy it. I'm just kidding.
I'm like a pregnant woman forcing myself to eat. My stomach's like swollen up.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes for me, my problem is that I'll get to going too fast, and then I'll say I'll eat later, and I'll eat later, and then I get kind of weak, like sugar gets low or something. I don't know. So I'm gonna go eat because I got Zavetta on in an hour and 15 minutes. I love you, sweetheart.
I love you too, Todd.
I love your gigantic etheric balls and your zest for life and living.
My zest for life is massive.
Humor and everything else you entertain me with every single day when I run through the news feed. So we'll do it again soon.
Yes,
love you.
definitely.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you, everyone. Love you. See you later. Namaste. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, darling. We'll see you later.